Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 7 of my Flight Simulator 2024 career mode. In the last episode we made a huge leap forward, grinding offline, pushing through multiple licenses and finally unlocking the path toward airline operations. But there is one thing I did actually forget to mention at the very start of the video. So in the previous episode before that, our Cessna 172 incident with Vista Wings, I made a decision to sell the only aircraft that we had. I gained 250,000 credits for it. It wasn't an easy call, but with the credits from that sale, it allowed us to pay for all the license exams you saw in episode 6. So while it looks like rapid progression behind the scenes, it came at a real cost. But that's where today's episode picks up. Right now, the focus isn't airliners, it's the specialisation missions. We need to complete these to unlock higher paying contracts and open up the next stage of our career, which I want to say is a spicy one. So today, our first specialised mission takes us all the way from Europe, all the way to Madagascar. And we'll be flying the Cessna 172, but this time we're not carrying passengers, instead we're transporting light cargo, fully VFR, between two very remote airfields. I am not going to try and pronounce these as they are an absolute mouthful, so apologies, but this is bush flying at its purest. So we're outside our 172 aircraft now. It's bright orange and green. I have no idea who this airline is, but we'll start the pre-flight checklist. Let's remove the engine covers, the static port cover, we'll get the chocks removed, and the pitot cover. Let's get inside and let's start this thing up. Okay, let's start the engine procedure now, and there is all our freight that we're moving today.
Cargo on board. This is a very important shipment for one of our clients. Needs to get to Ambodifotatra promptly. Our sensitive cargo containers are built to handle slight turbulence but maintain a constant flight speed and adapt to changing conditions. A prompt and safe delivery is key for the success of our business. You have all the pertinent information in your flight packet as a reminder. Safe travels.
Thank you very much. As you can see, turned all the lights on there. We'll set up the autopilot now. Get our map underway.
Foxtrot Mike November Charlie traffic. Speedbird Papa Sierra Romeo 508 is taxiing to runway 29. Foxtrot Mike November Charlie.
Okay, perfect. There is our taxi clearance. So let's get on to the runway, and we are going to skip ahead now. All this was completed in real time, but for the duration of the video, here we are at the end of runway 29, making a U-turn. So no rush here, short field mindset, even though we've got room. The power comes in, airspeed is alive as we keep the aircraft centered on the center line down the runway. Keeping it steady, gentle rotation, and we're climbing up to 500 feet. And we've got to complete a 180-degree right-hand turn coming up now to get us on course with the flight path planned for today. So there's 500 feet, and we are rolling to the right to get us on course, and we'll be climbing up to 2,300 feet for our initial first climb, with a cruising altitude of 5,200. So skipping on ahead, this is where we are fully VR, navigating visually, managing the altitude. As we get closer to the destination, we're descending from 5,200, slowly bringing it down to 2,300, and this is when it really hits you. So our destination isn't a runway in the traditional sense. It's a grass strip surrounded by trees and absolutely no margin for error at all. And I want to kind of highlight for the remainder of this mission, my video has bugged out the audio, so apologies for the complete silence. But here we are, we're tinkering with the ATC. We're announcing our inbound to the airfield and to any other traffic that we will be landing, full stop. So we are approaching 3,000 feet here, descending over the airfield. Autopilot is coming off, and in true classic Flight Simulator 2024, it has brought us in way too high to bring this in on a final. There's the airfield off to our right hand wingtip, that little strip of grass surrounded by foliage and trees. So, to lose the altitude and to bleed the speed off safely, we're completing a 360-degree left-hand turn to keep everything controlled and coordinated. And as we come around, trying to keep everything stable so we do not damage the cargo that we have on board. And as we come into view now, the airfield is dead ahead. And this might be the most rural airstrip I've ever seen in career mode so far. Grass runway, trees all around, no lighting, no markings, just judgment and technique. So as we announce our finals into the airfield, let's come off fast forward so I can talk you through this final approach. And absolutely no margins for error at all. Not even a patch of tarmac, not a smooth runway. It's going to be bumpy. But here we are, flaring out, bleeding off that last bit of airspeed, and we've got touchdown. A textbook landing there, right where we wanted it. And now that we are on the floor, you do get a sense of scale on how actual wide this airfield is. But we will go on up to the end of the runway, bring the flaps in, and we will park the aircraft up. Absolutely nothing around whatsoever, so I'm not really sure where we actually need to be aiming for here today. But we'll throttle up and we'll see where this runway ends. But can you call it a runway? Can we? I mean, I know there's airfields out there that are just literal strips of grass or terrain, but we'll see what we can do. Alrighty, let's get back in the flight deck and throttle up, and let's try and pull off to the left hand side here next to this little access ramp into the jungle. Stop the aircraft, and I guess we're parking up here, and no one here to greet us whatsoever, but we'll shut down the aircraft, and I say that is a mission complete. There we are, mission success. And there we have it in the bag. Airline procedures 100%, respect the aircraft 80, ensure cargo integrity 79. So we did not skip any of this in real life. So we've earned a heap of XP and only 3,000 measly credits, but a bit painful financially, but it's necessary progress. And now this allows us to do some light cargo missions. So let's head all the way back now, and our next specialisation mission couldn't be more different. This time we're in Arizona, tasked with assisting a scientific research mission flying close to an active tornado. So we are in the twin engine Diamond aircraft, and straight away you can see that tornado in the distance, and this is probably going to be something that Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt should be doing really. But skipping ahead, we're taxiing onto 21 left, cleared for takeoff. So we will line this baby up with the centre line, and the power's coming in, and already we can feel the performance of the twin engine, and trying to keep it centred. We can feel the winds due to the storm, and we will gently rotate the nose retract the gear, and we are climbing for 5,500 feet. Autopilot coming in, flick it into nav mode, and a gentle left hand turn puts us on course straight for the tornado.
Prescott Tower, Speedbird Echo Alpha, like 6514. Continue from east departure.
Now this mission works much like the sightseeing flights that you've seen in the previous episodes. To complete this, all we need to do is complete a full loop around the tornado, and there it is off in the distance, causing absolute destruction and devastation.
I know we've been over the details 1,000 times, but let's reiterate why we're here, okay? We hope to collect raw data we can then feed to computers in order to generate better simulations. Imagine if in the future we could predict if a thunderstorm is going to evolve into a tornado as it forms.
In other words, Captain, we really appreciate you helping us with flying directly at a tornado for science. There it is. This is gigantic, right in our path. Gonna count from 3 to 1. And then it's crucial you are completely still with the aircraft.
Okay, so we will do our
Recording
best.
has started.
So these guys, we have a camera mounted to the front of the aircraft, and the scientists in the back are recording the tornado for data usage, where they will then put that into a simulation for better science, so we can predict tornadoes and weather in the future. So we're doing our best to get clear views of the storm, but also trying to keep the aircraft stable. And have a look at that. You don't see that every now and then outside your window.
Prescott Tower, Speedbird Echo Alpha.
So handing off from ATC now, doing our best to keep the aircraft level for the scientists in the back.
So far, so good.
Good to see that we are doing a good job. And I'm keeping these visual aids in for the time being, just for the mission, trying to keep us steady. It's very hard, I do have to say, it is very hard to keep it at the suggested airspeed that what it is, and also at the same altitude with the current weather conditions that we are in. It looks like we're pitching up massively just to keep it under control of maintaining that airspeed and the altitude of what's needed. So if you want to try and put this into like a bit of a circuit, so we are on the downward wind leg now, going past the tornado. It's off to our left hand wing, and there it is, absolutely dancing about, scary stuff. Strong winds as well, battling the fuselage. And the scientists are not happy with how the aircraft's been treated. Apparently it's too erratic for them. I mean, you know, we're in a tornado. Well, we're flying around a tornado. What do you expect with the wind speeds of what these things produce and the weather? But we'll do our best. And you can really see us fighting with the stick, up and down, left and right, but almost complete. And as you can hear, every now and then we'll have the stall warning coming in. Like I say, you can see from that angle just how nose up we are in trying to keep the speed below the suggested. And there we do are. So let's, I think, kick some power in and get out of this. And here we are, the orbit's complete. We're heading back to the airfield. So we are on approach now, left hand turn coming in, bleeding off that speed, and we are nowhere in sight with a huge left turn to get us on short finals. Scientists are not impressed with that one bit, but we are on finals now. We're going over the threshold, gears down, flaps on full. Let's try and get this flared up as we're starting to hover, and touchdown.
Finally back. That was
So there we are. We are slowing down now, and this episode highlights what career mode is all about. Sometimes flying scenic grass strips in the middle of nowhere, other times you're circling around tornadoes for science. But if you are enjoying the series, make sure you hit that like video and subscribe, because we're getting close to the point now where opportunities for airlines are starting to turn up. So I want to say thank you for this one, for tuning in. And in the next episode, what we will be doing, and this is a heads up for the next one, is we're going to be taking an Airbus A330 out and about. That's all I'll say on that one. But thank you for watching, ladies and gents. Thank you for hitting 100 subscribers too. And I will see you in episode 8.